You were not born by accident. The date, the hour, the month, they were not coincidences scattered by chance, they were coordinates. Cosmic signatures written into the fabric of time itself, marking the exact moment the universe decided you were necessary. Your birth month was not simply a point on a calendar, it was the entrance of a particular kind of consciousness into the world, a frequency, a pattern, a tone of being. The ancients understood this long before science began to explain what the soul has always known. They looked at the sky and saw stories, not superstition, but archetype. Jung would call these the patterns of the collective, unconscious, mythic forces woven into the human psyche. Every month was more than a date. It was a doorway through which a different aspect of the human spirit entered the world. When you begin to see your birth month this way, as an energetic imprint rather than a simple number, something in you awakens. You start to recognize that you were not randomly born. You were summoned. The conditions of your birth, the season, the light, the rhythm of the earth shaped your early code. The temperature of the air, the slant of the sun, even the silence or storms of that month, they all whispered something into your bones. January souls were born in stillness, in the cold and the dark, when the world is stripped bare and truth stands naked. They carry the vibration of endurance, of beginnings born from endings. They are builders of vision, born when the earth sleeps, so they learn to create warmth within. Their lesson is patience, the understanding that what grows in silence becomes the foundation of empires. February souls were born in paradox, a month that exists between seasons, between identities. They carry the mark of visionaries and rebels, those who belong to the in-between. Theirs is the frequency of intuition, innovation, and inner rebellion against conformity. They are born to bring new worlds into being, to dissolve the rigid structures others cling to. Their power lies not in certainty, but in the courage to be undefined. March souls are born under the promise of Thor between death and resurrection. They carry the essence of water, of movement, of spiritual sensitivity. They are the healers and poets born when the earth begins to stir again. Their gift is compassion, but their challenge is boundary learning that love without structure can drown. Their strength lies in transmutation, turning pain into wisdom, chaos into art. April births carry the fire of awakening. They are the first to rush into bloom. They hold the energy of courage, of creation without hesitation. Born in the rising of the sun after the long dark, they carry the impulse of life itself, the refusal to stay buried. They are warriors of the will, leaders forged in instinct. Their lesson is restraint learning that power without stillness burns too bright and too fast. May souls are born in the fullness of the world's beauty. They are the stabilizers, the ones who bring harmony, sensuality, and form to chaos. Born in a time of abundance, they understand the art of cultivation, of tending to life with patience and precision. Their lesson is attachment learning to love beauty without needing to own it. Their gift is devotion to create constancy in a world of flux. June souls are born when light reaches its height. They carry the pulse of curiosity, duality, and play. They are communicators of consciousness, the ones who connect ideas, people, and possibilities. Their gift is adaptability. Their challenge is distraction. They must learn to move through life as mirrors, reflecting truth rather than scattering it. When aligned, they become the voice of the unseen, the translators of wisdom into words. July souls are born in the heart of heat, where emotion becomes element. They are protectors, nurturers, the guardians of memory. Born under the vibration of water and fire, they carry tenderness cloaked in strength. Their power is empathy. Their burden is sentimentality. They are the keepers of family, not just blood, but soul. Their purpose is to teach that vulnerability is not weakness, it is the highest form of courage. August births are marked by radiance, the blaze of the sun at its zenith. They are born to lead, not through dominance, but through presence. Their energy commands not by force, but by example. They are builders of confidence and destroyers of doubt. Yet their trial is pride, the temptation to mistake brightness for supremacy. Their greatest power is humility, to remember that the sun warms by giving, not by demanding light in return. September souls are born in balance, in the quiet precision between abundance and decline. They are thinkers, architects of order, perfectionists of both thought and purpose. Born under the vibration of refinement, they bring discipline to the divine. Their power lies in discernment, their downfall in self-criticism. They must learn that perfection is not found in flawlessness, but in authenticity, the harmony between chaos and control. October births carry the vibration of transformation, of endings that disguise beginnings. They are the alchemists of experience, born in the season of shadow. They are drawn to depth, to mystery, to truth buried beneath surfaces. Their purpose is to reveal what others fear to see. They carry both beauty and danger, the magnetic pull of passion that can destroy or renew. Their power lies in learning to die many small deaths without losing the soul that endures them. November souls are born in the underworld, in the time when the veil between seen and unseen thins. They are mystics, intuitives, the ones who see beyond form. They walk between worlds, often misunderstood by those who see only surfaces. Their challenge is intensity, to carry deep truth without drowning in it. Their lesson is surrender, learning to let transformation move through them instead of controlling it. And December souls born in the darkness before the return of light are carriers of wisdom. They are philosophers, wanderers of meaning. Born under the energy of ending and rebirth, they are old souls who came here not to build, but to remind. They see cycles where others see chaos. Their challenge is cynicism. Their power is faith. They are the storytellers of time, teaching that the longest nights give birth to the brightest dawns. But these months are not cages. They are invitations, archetypal mirrors that help you understand your signature in the symphony of existence. Your birth month was the first imprint of rhythm on your soul, the cosmic fingerprint that shaped how you would move through this life. And yet, within that design lies infinite freedom. You are not trapped by your pattern. You are meant to awaken through it. When Jung spoke of individuation, the process of becoming whole, he was speaking of this very unfolding, the transformation of fate into freedom. The stars may whisper the pattern, but consciousness decides how the song is sung. To know the symbolism of your birth is not to bow to it, it is to wield it. Look around at the months you came into. What did the world look like then? What did it sound like, smell like, feel like? What was being born? What was dying? These are not coincidences. They are metaphors for your soul's first language. You carry the memory of that season in your subconscious, its lessons, its light, its longing. The meaning of your birth month is not superstition, it's psychology written in poetry. It's the pattern of the collective unconscious expressed through the rhythm of nature. When you awaken to it, you begin to see that your life was never random. Every struggle you've endured, every desire you've carried, every challenge that repeats, all of it aligns with that first pulse of existence. And here's the truth that changes everything. You were not born into a month, your month was born into you. The qualities you associate with it, its storms, its warmth, its stillness, live inside your psyche, guiding your evolution. You are a mirror of your own beginning, destined to bring its hidden meaning into the world through your choices, your art, your love, your becoming. You were never simply born, you were sent. And the date you came through was not a timestamp. It was an assignment. The question now is not, what does my birth month mean? The real question is, what am I meant to remember about why I came when I did? Because once you remember, your life stops being coincidence and becomes calling. And from that moment, nothing, not your past, not your pain, not your patterns will ever look the same again. When you begin to see that your birth was not an accident, but a moment of cosmic alignment, something extraordinary happens. You stop feeling like a mistake. You stop living as if you must earn your place here. You begin to understand that existence itself already voted in your favor the moment you took your first breath. The same intelligence that spins galaxies also set the conditions for your arrival. And those conditions were not random, they were the perfect climate for the kind of soul you were meant to become. You start to sense that life has been whispering to you since the beginning, through symbols and seasons, through the language of cycles. Every year, when your birth month returns, it is not simply another birthday, it's a recalibration. The earth turns, the sun shifts, and something deep in your psyche awakens again, remembering the frequency of your entrance. The body may age, but the soul reactivates, rehearsing the same symphony that first called you here. This is why your birth month feels like a mirror. The weather, the colors, the sky, they echo your temperament. The world outside reflects the rhythm of your inner nature. A winter-born soul feels truth in solitude and stillness. A summer-born soul thrives in expansion and radiance. A spring-born one blooms in reinvention, and an autumn-born soul carries beauty in endings. These aren't personality traits, they're patterns of perception. Each month gives you a lens, a way of seeing. The world shaped you through it, and you continue to shape the world because of it. But what most people never realize is that your birth month also marks the first initiation of your life. The season of your birth gave you not just temperament, it gave you your first archetype, your first shadow, and your first test. If you were born in light, your shadow is depth. If you were born in darkness, your shadow is brightness. Every soul carries the opposite of its birth inside it, the missing piece that completes its wholeness. This is why Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The month that bore you also defined the exact polarity you were meant to transcend. If you were born in January's silence, you will spend your life learning expression. If you were born in August's fire, you will be tested in humility. If you were born in November's mystery, you must master visibility. The timing of your arrival tells you what you came to balance. Every strength contains its opposite. The gift and the challenge are woven together like twin strands of fate. And when you begin to see this, not as fate but as pattern, you stop asking, why am I like this? And start asking, what is this part of me teaching? You realize that you are not at war with yourself. You are in dialogue with your own design. Your birth month becomes a compass, not a cage. It doesn't predict who you are. It reveals the coordinates of your awakening. You start to notice how every cycle of your life echoes the season of your birth. You might struggle at the same time each year, feel alive at the same time each year, fall in love, end relationships, change jobs as if time itself were looping through the same archetypal energy, asking, are you ready to understand this differently now? That's the hidden intelligence of the universe. It doesn't punish, it repeats, until you awaken to the meaning. Each birthday, you're not just aging, you're circling the spiral. You revisit the same point, but at a higher level of consciousness. The same lessons return, but your eyes see them differently. What once looked like rejection now looks like redirection. What once felt like chaos now feels like choreography. The universe doesn't change, you do. The month that birthed you becomes a teacher that never leaves your side. And yet, there's something deeper still. When you understand the symbolism of your months, you begin to see how it connects to the collective. The same archetypal energy that birthed you also birthed million souls who share your rhythm, your frequency, your task. They are scattered across the earth, but they are part of your same current. You might meet them randomly, a conversation that feels fated, a stranger who feels familiar. It's because they carry the same archetypal key you do. You were all born under the same pulse of the universe, tasked with expressing different notes of the same symphony. The ancients called this the tribe of birth. Not family by blood, but family by vibration. These are the people who remind you who you are when you forget. They are your energetic kin reflections of the same cosmic principle you were meant to embody. When you align with them, your energy amplifies. Together, you move frequencies through the collective field that no single person could move alone. This is why collective change often happens in waves, because groups of souls born under similar energetic alignments begin awakening around the same time. They sense the same imbalance in the world and rise in response. Every revolution, every cultural rebirth, every great movement in history begins with a generation waking up to the meaning of its own birth. The personal becomes planetary. The individual becomes archetype. So when you begin to live consciously through your birth month's meaning, you are not just living for yourself, you are fulfilling a role in the cosmic order. Your awakening contributes to the evolution of the collective psyche. Jung saw this clearly. The transformation of one individual shifts the entire field. To make you unconscious, conscious is not just self-healing, it is world healing. And here lies the deeper mystery. Your birth month is not just about when you arrived. It's about why you arrived then. The world needed a certain kind of light at that specific moment, and you were that light in human form. The season wasn't just your backdrop, it was your context, your calling, your code. The earth was in a specific state of balance and imbalance when you were born, and your soul entered as a correction, a contribution, a counterpoint. Think about that. The conditions of your arrival were not random. They were a message to the world saying, we need this vibration now. You weren't born too early, and you weren't born too late. You came precisely on time, not by the clock of man, but by the clock of consciousness. And once you understand this, life stops being something that happens to you and becomes something that happens through you. You begin to see that your purpose is not hidden, it's encoded in your timing. To live unconsciously is to forget the code and call your life meaningless. To awaken is to remember the code and live it deliberately. The meaning of your birth month is not about prediction. It's about participation. You are not here to obey the stars. You are here to continue their story. When you align with their truth, your life stops being repetition and becomes revelation. You begin to move with a kind of precision that feels supernatural, not because it's magic, but because it's alignment. You are finally moving with the current that has always carried you. And as you move with it, something extraordinary happens. The world around you starts to recognize you. Doors open, synchronicities multiply, obstacles rearrange. It's as if the universe itself exhales, whispering, yes, this is what you were born for. And that is when you understand the meaning of your birth month was never about astrology or symbolism alone. It was about remembering that the same intelligence that made the stars also made you. You are not separate from their story. You are their story, walking in human form, the cosmos, experiencing itself as consciousness. And in that realization, the question of why was I born finally disappears. Because you see that you were never simply born, you were begun. And as that realization deepens, the concept of destiny starts to change meaning. It no longer feels like a path laid out ahead of you, rigid, unbending, demanding that you follow it like a script. Destiny begins to feel alive, fluid, responsive. You understand that it's not something written for you, it's something written with you. Each decision, each hesitation, each act of courage or avoidance is another brushstroke on the same canvas. You are not the character being guided by fate, you are the consciousness co-authoring it. That's when you begin to see that your birth month didn't just mark when you entered the world, it marked when the world entered you. The patterns of light and dark, the pulse of the earth, the state of humanity at that time, all of it imprinted itself in your psyche. The world left its fingerprint on your soul the moment you arrived. And you have spent your entire life trying to make sense of that imprint, to translate it into art, wisdom, leadership, kindness, truth. Every time you feel lost, you are not off your path. You are being called back to decode that original message. The circumstances of your birth are the coordinates. The lessons that repeat are the language. Every challenge is an invitation to refine your understanding of what you came here to give. Because you were not just born into time, you were born for a time. Your month is a signature in the larger rhythm of collective transformation. Every age needs a different medicine, and you are that medicine in human form. The qualities of your month are not coincidences, they are the archetypes the world needed at that exact frequency of evolution. And if you listen carefully, you'll feel that call in your bones. Some part of you knows it always knew that your existence carries purpose beyond survival, that you didn't come here just to chase comfort or validation. You came to remember something ancient, to restore something forgotten, to live a life that embodies a very specific kind of light. When you awaken to that, your entire perception of time transforms. Birthdays stop being celebrations of age and become ceremonies of awareness. Each year, you return to the energetic threshold of your beginning, and the universe asks you again, are you ready to live as who you truly are? The celebration is not about getting older, it's about becoming more conscious of your original reason for being here. And as your consciousness matures, you start to feel the invisible threads connecting your life to the rhythm of the cosmos. You begin to notice how the seasons mirror your internal states, how the outer world mirrors your inner unfolding. You realize that life has been teaching you through repetition, birth, death, rebirth, not as metaphor, but as law. You start to see the months not as divisions of time, but as stages of transformation. Each month carries its own archetypal essence, a rhythm that echoes through everything from the cycles of nature to the movement of your own psyche. Your birth month was the one you entered through, but you are meant to dance with all of them, to experience the full spectrum of creation. You were born in one frequency, but you were made to master them all. The month that birthed you was your first chapter, but not your only language. To live fully is to learn to move through every season of the soul, to know when to plant, when to harvest, when to rest, when to rise again. And the deeper you grow into awareness, the more you realize that this rhythm, this eternal movement, is not something external. It's inside you. You carry the entire wheel of time within your consciousness. The solstices and equinoxes live in your breath. The phases of the moon pulse in your emotions. The tides of the earth move in your blood. The seasons are not outside you. They are you. This is what Jung meant when he said that symbols are the language of the soul. The symbol of your birth month is not something to decode intellectually. It's something to feel. It's the vibration of your beginning, the key that unlocks your deepest archetype. When you meditate on it, live through it, embody it, you align with your original blueprint. But this alignment is not passive. It's a continual act of courage. Because to live according to your design means to betray every expectation the unconscious collective tries to impose on you. The world rewards conformity, but your birth month calls you to authenticity. And authenticity is rebellion in its purest form. To follow your own rhythm in a world obsessed with uniformity is to declare sovereignty over your soul. It is to say, I will not live by borrowed seasons. I will live by my own. That is what it means to be awake, to move through time as creator, not consumer. When you live like this, life itself begins to respond differently. You start to notice that synchronicities don't just happen, they accelerate. Time bends around your alignment. You will meet the right people at impossible moments, walk into opportunities that seem designed for you, feel unseen hands clearing the path ahead. Because when you live in harmony with your original frequency, reality cooperates. The universe stops testing you and starts collaborating with you. That's when you understand that luck was never random, it was resonance. And destiny was never a mystery, it was timing, meeting awareness. The meaning of your birth month was never about defining you. It was about awakening you. It was never about predicting your life. It was about reminding you of the energy that animates it. The same energy that began with your first breath still moves through you now, evolving, refining, becoming more articulate through your experience. And at some point you will look back and realize that the moments you called coincidence were actually conversation. The setbacks were initiations. The delays were timing. The entire path was a dialogue between your consciousness and the intelligence that chose your arrival. You were not born into chaos, you were born into precision. The moment you were born was the universe saying, this is the exact frequency that will bring balance here. You are that frequency, in motion, in form, in human expression. And as you live that truth, as you embody the meaning of your birth month, not as superstition, but as sacred psychology, you fulfill the deeper purpose of existence itself, to make consciousness conscious of itself. The stars did not shape you so that you would worship them. They shaped you so that you could continue their story, so that through you the universe could learn to know its own reflection. And when you finally grasp that, you understand what it means to be alive. Not to be trapped in time, but to become time itself. To move as eternity disguised as a human heartbeat. To realize that your month, your birth, your life were never separate from the vast intelligence that wrote them. You were not born into the cosmos. The cosmos was born through you. And when that truth finally takes hold, not as an idea, but as a living pulse inside you, something ancient stirs. The illusion of separation begins to dissolve, and what's left is not thought, not theory, but recognition. A memory older than language. You remember that you were never a visitor here. You were never an outsider trying to find your way. You are the very fabric of existence, momentarily conscious of itself. The cosmos didn't create you, it is experiencing itself through you. From that realization, humility and power merge. You stop seeking to control life and instead participate in it consciously. You see that destiny was never a chain. It was choreography. The seasons, the years, the endless turn of your birth, month through time, all of it was a dance designed to teach you one thing, that everything you needed was already written within you. You were always your own constellation. You stop asking the world for permission to exist. You stop asking fate to reveal its secrets. You no longer beg the heavens for meaning, because you are the meaning. The stars you once looked up to are now mirrors, and when you gaze into them, you recognize the same fire that burns behind your eyes. And in that moment, something shifts forever, a quiet homecoming, the end of all searching. You realize that nothing you've lived was wasted. Every heartbreak, every failure, every delay was part of the same divine precision that orchestrated your birth. The same intelligence that timed your arrival also timed your awakenings, your endings, your rebirths. The plan was never linear. It was symphonic. So now you stand where you've always been meant to, between heaven and earth, spirit and flesh, eternity and time, not divided but whole. You understand that your birth month was not just the key to your beginning, but the rhythm of your becoming. Each time it returns, it whispers the same message. Remember, remember why you came. Remember what you carry. Remember that the light that once broke through the sky to bring you here still lives within you, waiting to be embodied. And from that remembering comes peace. Not the fragile peace of silence, but the radiant peace of understanding. You stop chasing purpose and begin to live it. You start to see that every act of awareness is an act of creation. Every moment of gratitude, a kind of alchemy. Every breath, a declaration that existence is still sacred. This is the meaning your birth month has been waiting for you to realize. That your life is not random and your timing is not an accident. You were born when you were, because that frequency of being was needed now. You are part of the universe's self-correction, a thread of consciousness woven into the larger design, carrying a note only you can sing. So sing it, live it. Let your presence be your offering. Let your awareness become your prayer. You do not need to seek alignment. You are alignment expressed in form. When you finally live from that knowing, you stop moving through life as someone trying to find their place. You begin to move as the place itself, the meeting point of matter and mystery. And every time your birth month comes again, it won't feel like a date on a calendar. It will feel like a heartbeat echoing through the cosmos, reminding you that you are still on time, still becoming, still expanding the universe simply by being conscious within it. The stars will fade, the years will pass, the body will change, but the pattern that summoned you will remain. Because what was born through you is eternal. And as you take one final breath under the same sky that once called you here, you'll understand what every awakened soul eventually does, that the meaning of your birth was never to find the light, but to become it. You were not born just to exist. You were born to illuminate, and you have been shining since the very first moment the universe said your name.